This is a psychological analysis of entrepreneurs and business owners who are very much a perfectionist. And it's a very necessary foundation to understand the foundation, the underlying mechanisms, where this is coming from, what's healthy, what's not. It's very important to understand that to change. So listen up closely. First of all, there's functional perfectionism and dysfunctional perfectionism. Functional perfectionism means you're running your business and you simply want to do a brilliant job. You want your product to be awesome. You want your website to be great. You want your marketing to be great. You just enjoy building, like this little kid playing with Lego and just enjoying building something beautiful, something that is perfect and whole. You just enjoy that process. It's a positive motivation. You're striving towards something. That's not what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about the dysfunctional perfectionism. And there's a lot of negative motivation involved, a lot of fear of failure. What if I do things wrong? I don't want to be perceived as somebody who's doing a bad job. A lot of stress also involved. And that's dysfunctional perfectionism. And that's what I'm talking about today. Now, the theoretical background and origin of all that is probably your childhood. How did your parents raise you? If they are very critical, especially back then, back in the days as a child, or they didn't give you a lot of support, or they've been love worthy, but they simply gave this conditional love to you. If you perform well, they praised you a lot. If you're not doing well, maybe they punished you a little bit and they just wanted the best for you, but you learned, I need to perform good to be love worthy. And what you started doing then back in the days, maybe already, to be very aware of your behaviors, of how you perform, and maybe even criticizing yourself already. Oh, damn, you have to do a good job, do it better here, you should improve this. And by criticizing yourself first, you are simply trying to avoid criticism of your parents. It's basically you anticipating already the criticism, so you criticize yourself first, you protect yourself from it. And criticizing yourself so much if you're not doing a good job, this is exactly what led to this perfectionism. And actually there was just this fear of failure, of doing a bad job because then I'm not good enough. That's why you're perfectionist. And that stresses you a lot. And this stress often leads to a lot of procrastination. So in your business, you're actually not moving forward as fast as you could because you're procrastinating a lot. Because you have a lot in this fear of failure in your mind. If I'm doing a bad job, I don't want to do this, but it stresses me a lot. And that's a natural mechanism of avoiding stressful things, so I don't need to feel so much stress. But of course, it doesn't work long term, this strategy. And eventually, since you're such a perfectionist and don't want to do anything wrong, you have a low sense of self. What do I actually want to do with my business? What do I actually think is meaningful? How would I like to move forward? You don't ask yourself those questions so much. You're more paying attention and having your perception outside of yourself, checking, is that good, is that bad? What are the competitors doing? Am I doing a good job? What are the feedbacks saying? What are my clients saying? And that's fine, by the way, that's important. You need to do that, but you're overly perceiving that, not asking yourself so much, what do I want? What do I think is great work? And you also stress yourself with that a lot. You have this fixed mindset. If you're doing something that is not perfect, if you're maybe even failing at something, you think that you are a failure and that cannot be changed. That's the fixed mindset. The growth mindset instead would be, oh, something failed here. We spent a lot of money on ads, but it didn't work. Interesting. Why didn't that work? How could we improve? Does it even make sense to spend ads on YouTube or on Facebook in this way? Or is there something else we should do first? Or what do we need to change up? I'm curious. I want to learn, because failure means I can learn and grow. And I am a human. I can learn and grow, obviously. That's the growth mindset. But you don't have that one. Very much this fixed mindset. If I behave that way and this is not awesome, I am not awesome. You always derive this back to your entire personality. And of course, that's stressful. I would also procrastinate all the time. Because not being perfect, meaning I'm a failure, wow. And you, by the way, quite often engage in this all or nothing thinking. It's a cognitive distortion. And that's also exactly this fixed mindset. If I'm doing a good job, I'm good. I'm awesome. You have those massive highs. But if I'm doing a bad job, I'm a loser. It doesn't work. You question everything. It's all or nothing thinking. Either or. Nothing in between. That's exhausting, but also this is so not helpful for your business, because you're not perceiving reality as it is. And having and making the right business decisions, it's usually not an either or. It's usually something in between, and a question of how we do things. And if you don't have the ability to properly think that way, you're not going to be an optimal entrepreneur and business owner. So your own psychological maturity has a lot to say about how you're running a business. That's what you should work on. Now, what you maybe tried already in the past is, okay, I should stop being a perfectionist. I should lower my standards. But you also noticed it doesn't work, right? And that's because it's just like talking to somebody who's really angry in the very moment. And you just tell them, just calm down. Calm down. It doesn't help you right now to be angry. And that doesn't work. It makes them usually even more aggressive and angry. And that's what you have tried though. And it's though not so much about lowering your standards. It's more about, you don't want to throw away your ambitions. Again, this functional perfectionist has a very high ambitions, also want to behave in a perfect way and have a perfect outcome. But there's a much more positive motivation attached to that. And you right now, for you being perfect is very, very important. That's everything, right? Because being perfect means you're perfect. That's everything for you. And you want to change this. It's very, very important. It's a must to be perfect. You want to change this into it's interesting. I would like to be perfect and create this perfect product or create this perfect marketing strategy or hire the perfect employees. I would like that. That would be interesting. How do we do that? Let's figure it out. It's a totally different attitude, right? It's putting you in such a more creative, open-minded, relaxed, high-performing mindset than I need to do. I must perform that well. And you maybe noticed this already. If you look around your friends, maybe you have a couple of other friends or know people who are business owners, entrepreneurs who are hugely successful. They often are not so stiff as you are. They're often more relaxed. Yes, they're very productive and they're very assertive in a sense, but they have this confidence, this calmness, and they're kind of like this rock in the ocean, and just a couple of waves are not going to move him. So a couple of disappointments are not going to shake him at all, or her. It's just like, interesting, that didn't work. Why didn't this work? Okay, let's figure this out. Or no, maybe let's play another game because this is nothing we should continue. Let's rather do this. But it's nothing to do with me as a person. That's what those people got. And you can learn that though too. Usually a lot of people don't get born with that. Some people, have very healthy parents and very healthy parenting style in childhood, and they grew up with this massive healthy self-esteem. But a lot of people don't, but you can learn that. It's not genetics, it's learned, and you can relearn that as well. For sure, I've seen a lot of people grow into that. And even the people you know right now who are doing so well, who are having this functional perfectionism, very high self-esteem, probably they also haven't been very confident 20 years ago. Okay. Also, just to increase the sense of urgency, if you continue like that, you're probably not going to enjoy running your business anymore. It's just going to be a pain in the ass. Maybe that's already the case right now. And you don't want to be in this position. You want to enjoy what you do, just as in the beginning. This curious guy or girl wanting to start this business, wanting to go big, wanting to create something. I want that person back. And not the stiff perfectionist. It's not fun. And success doesn't mean that you need to suffer. There's a lot of this implicit connection, association between people who are successful suffer a lot, they isolate themselves a lot. And that's not necessarily true. You can have a lot of fun while being successful. Success can be easy, but right now you're making it very difficult for yourself. And that's what you want to relearn. Yeah. If you, by the way, want to figure this out, one-on-one, I'm a psychologist. I work with entrepreneurs and business owners. Perfectionism is a massive topic I talk with a lot of people about and resolve that. You can book a free call. There's a link below this video. There we can build an individualized strategy. This will be already very powerful and helpful for you. So sign up for that. And then we will talk personally. And of course, in the end, we can talk about the possibility of moving forward. But this free call, again, will be already valuable. And though another thing that I still wanted to say is that procrastination, that's very much connected to I'm having this fear of giving it all. I'm putting all my heart and money and passion and sweat and tears and blood into that, but I'm failing. And that means that even if I give my all, I'm failing. That means I'm a failure. Again, this all or nothing thinking. That's why there, by the way, a lot of people, I don't think this is you, but you might know those people who are never giving it all. They're very relaxed, easygoing. They're kind of even self-sabotage. And then really obviously not putting in a lot of effort. And then if they fail, they have a very good excuse. Well, I didn't even care about it. I didn't even put effort into that. Because they're actually afraid of once in their life giving it all and what happens if you then still fail. And you need to start being okay with that. Because yes, you might give it all in your business and it might fail. That is possible. And then the question is, how do you continue? And how much does this tell about you as a person? And how stable is your self-esteem? All right, again, let's talk about this. There's a link below this video. If you have questions, either you can text me personally on Instagram, but again, I suggest you simply book a call. Let's talk about all that. And yeah, otherwise have a good day. Share this with any other friends that run a business, that are about to run a business, that are entrepreneurs. I think this is a valuable key, a massive valuable key to actually build a successful business while enjoying yourself. And also letting go of procrastination, by the way. All right, I'll see you around.